What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with my boy Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoe.com,
and we have an event that I've been pumped for since they announced this movie.
It's a tale as old as time.
Oh my gosh.
Song as old as rhyme.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Which, technically I've already reviewed, but this is going to be a Beauty and the Beast redo.
Come on, we got Superman, we got Chasing Cinema.
We're going to have more of a conversation. I want to know what I really want to know. You predicted this would be one of your favorites of the year. You want to see it a bunch of times. Did Beauty and the Beast live up to that?
Dude, the hardest part is well, at least when you know me, we've known each other for like
too long.
half a decade plus, dude. And I get myself so excited about movies, and then you really can only just go downward from there. And I can very, very happily say that the animated version in 91, still to this day is my favorite animated film of all time. And I can say that it really was like shot for shot. They added some more scenes, added the 3 new songs, but I was absolutely satisfied with this. I thought Emma Watson was a perfect Belle. I thought she was so good. Like, I had no problems with her British accent.
There will be people who see this movie who will only know Emma Watson as Belle, not as Hermione.
Which is crazy. And there'll be people who watch this movie that haven't even received the animated.
Yes.
And so, we talked about it off camera that, do I like the animated version better? Yes. But that's also what I grew up with too. That nostalgia, and that you're never gonna destroy that.
There is nostalgia. There is like source material. Even though like there is a Beauty and the Beast, and there's many versions of Beauty and the Beast far before. I think the original Beauty and the Beast came out in 1928, and it was the French version, La Belle et la Bête. And that was my best. It sounds good, but someone's like, oh my god. But and those are really great versions. We've seen all the way to the Fran Drescher version, the beauty salon version, and I mean there's been many renditions, but obviously the Disney 1991 is
the one that sticks with everybody. It really is. And I just honestly thought it was just a beautifully made movie. The songs brought me back, and
no criticisms, nothing, no issues, nothing wrong.
When I first saw the trailer and I first saw Beast, I was like, oh god. I thought it was hideous. And I didn't like it at all. But for some reason, and I'm not just saying this, when I watched it, I had no problems with the aesthetics of the Beast at all. I didn't have any problem.
I agree with you, because even I was kind of like, I didn't expect him to look super monstrous, but I was like, he doesn't look that great. And then in the movie, I was like, oh, he's fine.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all, which was weird, because even in the previews, I just did not like it. My criticisms of the movie, if I did have any, I guess, let me really think about that. I loved the movie, bro. I enjoyed it a lot. So let's just
while you're thinking about criticisms, let's hit characters. So you loved Emma Watson as Belle.
So everyone says, why does Belle have a British accent? Why is she not American? And then everyone's saying, well, one, they're in France.
Yeah, they're in Paris.
Yeah, they're in Paris.
Well, they're not in Paris, but they're in France.
They're somewhere. They're in a city in France, so it's like, technically speaking, the animated version was wrong too, because she sounded American.
Yeah.
So it's like, people are like, no, she should sound this way. It's like, well, no, technically she needs to sound French then, not American.
Yeah.
So that whole argument's stupid.
I don't know if that's ever talked about. I wonder if they are American. I don't know if that's ever talked about in the animated version. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so that was great. And then Gaston, freaking...
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans, man.
He was the best part.
He was Gaston. Dog.
I thought he was like the most real. Like out of everyone, I thought everyone was fine, but he like brought that character to life.
He was Gaston.
He was good.
And then Josh Gad, Olaf, but now we have him as... LeFou. I thought he was a great LeFou. And the only criticism I'll say is, and you hit it right on the dot, Disney made the biggest mistake, in my opinion, and I think you agree, well, yeah, because I agree with you, is that why did they have to say that he was the first gay character, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then now there's all this hype, and then I'm watching the movie the entire time, waiting for it, and I was like, dude, don't tell me that your moment was 1-2 second dance with the dude. Not even 2 seconds, probably. It was just like zit, zit. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then this movie was banned in a movie theater in Alabama. So, which was one thing, which won't do anything. And then it was also banned in another country. And Disney said in that country they cut that whole scene out, and it was still banned. So it's like,
I wonder though, like, not spoilers, but I wonder if that's the scene they cut, or they cut like a few scenes. Like I wonder if they cut the dresser scene with that one
Oh
character.
yeah. See, I thought that scene was more.
Well, here's the thing. Like, okay, and I talked about it a little bit in my review. Like, Disney kind of come out. There was these rumblings like, oh, this is a gay character. And to me, let's say the movie does show a gay character, and LaFoe is gay in this movie. Bad example of your first gay character because he's foolish, he's silly, he's a joke, he's never taken seriously, he's, you know, bumbling. Not a very great example to be like, this is our first strong, independent, you know, gay character. And then you actually watch the movie and you're like, wow, like this is such a stretch. Obviously, Disney caught on. We had Josh Gad, who came out and been like, the script never says I'm gay, the character's gay. The director says like it's all blown out of proportion, which it is. And it's a shame that people are going to miss this movie because of how silly that is. And granted, I'm all for, and you are too, obviously, all for Disney doing that and presenting different type of things. But it was a mistake to do it here because it's not there. It's like they made a mountain out of a molehill. Or anthill, whatever. But they made this big deal out of something that's not even worth making. Like, to me, it's insulting to say that's your first gay character, and then if you say it's not your gay character, you've already, like, done this huge mess that you've created.
I thought he was in a Kiss Gaston or something like that. That's what I honestly thought. And
that's all interpretation, like, that the whole, like, leading up. Like I said in my review, it's subtle. But if you're looking for it, it's not subtle. His like attraction to Gaston, and even if that's really what it is, and at the very end, it's not even Gaston. He just dances with some guy, and it's not like, oh, I would love to dance with you, and he extends his hand to dance with this man. It's just like, oh,
if anything, they were in sequence. If anything, it was just the next person to dance with.
And he's like, oh, if anything, there's like no moment of like, oh, this feels right or anything like that. So to me, it's all blown out of proportion. I hope I didn't spoil the big gay moment for you, but I mean, don't let that affect you, the way of your movie, because honestly it's better off had none of that been discussed. I mean, of course Disney should come out with different characters and show the diversity in the world and all that, and I'm all open for that, but at least show some strong characters that are actually talking about the situations or not even talking about it. I know a lot of people are like, I don't want Disney talking about gay people in our movies. Well, unfortunately, this is the world. Disney has talked about diversity and has always attacked diversity with women, with different cultures. Disney is about diversity, and you know, if we want to have a character, make those characters, explore those worlds, but don't do it so cheaply, and that's how I felt it was here. And again, I don't even know if 100% this is like, that was their main thing, or they just wanted to get talked about, and they just wanted everyone talking about Beauty and the Beast, which they definitely accomplished, but it definitely hurt them a little bit too. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack, loved it, dude.
Did any songs disappoint?
Disappoint? No, love them all.
See,
the new ones, I didn't fall in love with the new ones. Maybe after a couple more viewings in this movie, then I'll be able to tell you how I feel about them. But none of the new ones, Evermore, didn't really do anything much for me.
That's the Beast song.
Yeah.
See, to me, I thought that was the only thing that they added to this movie that I liked. I did like that song.
Evermore. I didn't have a problem.
Like, I don't think the song
didn't do anything.
I don't think the song, like, just straight the music was like, oh, fantastic. But I like that moment with Beast. I like that really intimate, just one-on-one with us, and like him expressing his feelings. And I thought that was like the best thing that they added, because the original, not the original, but the 1991 Disney film is 80 minutes, and this movie's 2 hours. So everything that's added, I feel, is all unnecessary, because I've seen without it, and it's far more effective and efficient. And granted, I know they want to make a more fuller movie, but everything they added doesn't push the story. They're adding a lot about Belle's mom. There in no way like enhances the story or tells more about her character or does anything to push the story. It's just there, that's fluff. And I've always been like a trim your fat kind of guy. If it's not necessary, make things tighter, make things more effective. And that was the only thing I would keep. To me, Be Our Guest was okay. It wasn't like
it wasn't as strong as the animated.
No, it is very like boom, boom, boom. Even though I went back and watched Reanimated and I didn't feel it was as strong as I remembered it either. Like, even in the animated, I was like, oh, that song was good, but it was still like nowhere near as I imagined it, because Disney has like built that song up in our mind so much. But I did think Emma Thompson did a wonderful job with Tale's Oldest Time.
Singing.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job. I mean, I think everyone did.
Emma Watson with Belle?
No one bothered me. To me, it was fine, but it's like we just kind of sprinkled something new on something old, and it was fine. But in all honesty, it just made me go, oh, I would like to revisit the 1991 movie, and it is a more effective movie with its length. Interesting decisions, though. I mean, they did do some interesting things, like making the sorceress part of like the story and like.
Oh, at the end, it was funny because when she came out, when we found out it was her, I actually in my head the whole time thinking, she's weird. Who is this?
Yeah,
like, I was thinking so.
Well, because they like as soon as we see her, like kind of like the first time is like this old,
decrepit lady,
decrepit, but just like this random lady, you're like, okay, that's probably the witch, and I think that's one of the best things about the 1991 version was the stained glass intro where they tell the story. I thought that was like far more effective and just a way cooler way to tell that story. And like you said earlier, though, you get frustrated because everyone's comparing and comparing and comparing. And I think Beauty and the Beast, this movie will stand alone, but I think it misses. And I think like every single Disney movie live action remake, it lacks that certain magic that was told in those original stories. And I don't know what exactly it is that it's missing. Maybe the heart and the passion and the work, because obviously, and I'm not saying that these people aren't passionate about their work, but there's something in animation that is able to bring that magic to life a little bit better. And granted, I know why they're doing it live action, but there's something really beautiful about going into a Disney storybook and just like being immersed in this world of fantasy. In this movie, they try to make it real life, and some of that fantasy is lost, I think. And that's a little bit more theoretical, but I mean, that's
you know what does upset me though is a lot of the reviews say like Emma Watson didn't care. Emma Watson phoned it in, and it's like, no, I don't think so. Emma Thompson wasn't good. It's like all these people that are so judgmental.
Yeah,
it's like that does irritate.
Oh no, judgmental. I mean that's their criticism. Judgmental would be like, Emma Thompson's gonna suck. That's judgmental. That's judging. But I mean, I understand. I mean, to me, like everyone was fine. Everyone obviously.
I thought it was great.
Everyone obviously singing is not a professional singer. Josh Gad, I think. Emma Thompson have only been like the ones that have like somewhat professionally sang. I don't even know if Emma Thompson has. I think she has.
Luke Evans, the background.
Luke Evans,
is singing.
And Luke Evans is good too. And
he's amazing.
To me, Gaston was like the highlight of this movie, and I'm just like, he's the one that I believe the most. He was the one. I will say, someone asked me on our original review about the transformation scene, and I didn't kind of like remember how big it is in the cartoon, and then watching this one, it's very underwhelming. But that's it. Overall, I mean, it's a solid movie. I think it's the best Disney live action remake. I do say I put Melissa in a little bit of a different category because at least that tried to do something different, tried to tell a different story, new perspective, but definitely an improvement from Jungle Book for me. And
I thought it was better than Jungle Book.
Is this your favorite then?
Yes, for live action for sure.
I agree.
Love it. All right, in 7 days. Oh, also Belko Experiment. Ding! You can watch that right now.
Right there, I'm there.
And then in 7 days we'll be back for the Go Power Rangers
and
life.
And
I don't know.
Chips.
The cop movie.
And then
Kappa.
Okay, no, Boss Baby's later. So yeah, those 3 movies all next week. I have a feeling we'll be talking about Life and Power Rangers. I don't know because if we'll be talking much about Chips, but we'll see.
ChasingCinema.com is known as
the film lovers website.